What's up YouTube, Dan here from Zev War Games, bringing you an updated Dark Magician deck profile. Now I ran this this weekend, or literally today, at a second local Llds that we had, and I got into the top 4. So without further ado, we'll crack straight into the deck. I'll skip past cards that we don't need to have full explanations on. So for starters, obviously, free Dark Magician, again, no more explanations needed, you must play this guy at free. Now, again, throughout vigorous testing, I am chopping and changing between 2 and 3. Now, it's really hard to really determine, because I mean, at 2 I see him relatively just enough, but then there are times that I'm like, damn, I wish I had a third. But then at 3 it's like, what else could you be? But at 3 he works quite well, because I mean, the fact is, if you have one of these guys in hand and Dark Magician, you activate Navigation, you go bang, bring this guy out, bang, and then because you use a trap, bang. Now, for what people don't know is, Magician of Dark Illusion does not chain to a trap. So his effect to bring from hand isn't a chain onto effect, it's when you've activated effect. So if you activate Solemn Warning during your opponent's turn, which obviously 9 times out of 10 you will be, you can then bring this guy out, because you're not chaining Solemn Warning. His effect happens on a completely new chain. So it's because his effect is because you've activated a trap. So the trap has been activated and resolves. He starts off in a new chain afterwards. So he can bring himself back out. The only thing he can't, that I'm not 100% sure of, and I don't think he can, is Vanities, because obviously you play Vanities, but you don't chain to the trap. So, yeah, play him at 3. Again, another card that I've chopped and changed between 2 and 3, but 3 seems to be the one, is Rod. Now he'll become a heck of a lot more consistent and more needed at 3 as the second Eternal Soul's out. Because I mean, at the moment in my deck, the cards that this guy searches out is obviously Circle, Navigation, and the Quick Play spell, Illusion Magic. So he's only really got 3 targets that he can search out. Now 9 times out of 10 I'm searching out the Circle, because Circle can then give me that second opportunity to find a Dark Magician or a Navigation or whatever else is needed. Now obviously the second Eternal Soul comes out, it's another target. Now this card I bumped up to 3. Free Chocolate Magician Girl. I bumped this up at the last minute. I'm not 100% sure. I feel that it needs to be cut back down to 2 after today. But there's a card in my extra deck which will explain why I've played her at 3. And basically, I think the way I saw it was I took out my Sword of 7, the Banish ones, level 7, and draw 2 for her. Because the reason I put Swords of 7 in was mainly for Mahard. And I was like, well, I would rather have the monster that has the ability to get rid of Mahard and not banish it. So I bumped Chocolate up to 3. Now, I whinge and whine about this card so much, but, you know, Maxi. I've only recently started putting this in my decks because I understand why it's in decks. I mean, yes, I hate it if I draw Maxi off of Maxi. I hate it if my opponent's not a huge special summoner. And I hate it if I'm out of cards and I'm going for the top deck. Because I think, obviously, if I put stuff like Menko, Battle Faders and stuff like this, then Maxi's quite good, because, you know, if you top deck Maxi, if your opponent continues to special summon, you're just hoping you draw into those. But obviously, because I'm not playing those, I don't see it as a great top deck card. But opening this up against certain decks is really good. Like, there have been a couple of times where I've Maxi'd a Mahard, or I've Maxi'd a card that I need to play for next turn, or thinned out my deck. Double Effect Veiler. Now, again, I play a card in my extra deck, or I did play a card in my extra deck that Effect Veiler helps. That Effect Veiler helps make, because it's a tuner, and then obviously it's discard effect. I didn't see this card as much as I wanted to today. I very rarely saw it, which is it's a huge shame. But you know, Effect Veiler is Effect Veiler for a reason. And then I've got one Kaiko, the Ghost Destroyer. Again, didn't see him as enough as I wanted to. It's a really good card. It has the banish effect for Blue Eyes and that, but I don't think this is a main deck card. I mean, there's probably some other cards that I would like to put in place of this card, which I'll go through when I get to my side deck and stuff like that. He's a good card, but he might be more of a side. Or one of the plays I was told with him is you get secret village spellcasters out, get this guy down, and then there's very little in today's meta that can get past, just as a normal summon, a level 1800 attack. And obviously I'll show you some other cards that would complete that lockdown a little bit later. Now, one, Oracle Mahard. Now, this guy won me a game today, and he has won me. See, he's probably won me 60% of the games, but the other 40% he's sat dead in my hand, which has been a nightmare to deal with because, like, he's a nice card, and he's kind of what the new Magician Girl apprentice that we won't be getting in the TCG for a while now because we know how that works, but it's kind of what Mahard should have been. Like, he should have been something like that could help it on the scale that he does. So yeah, Mahard's not bad at all. He's just he does have his moments where he bricks. Now, I am considering taking Mahard out for Sorcerer of Dark Magic. Now, people have suggested Sorcerer of Dark Magic to me before. It works well with navigation, and again, he'll probably work a lot more with Eternal Soul on board, because if you have Eternal Soul on board, you then go. You can then play pretty much a deadlock out. I mean, if you can get this guy on board and Paladin, then you're negating spells and traps. Then if you can get this guy on board, plus Secret Village of the spell casters, plus Eternal Soul, you're stopping traps. They can't activate spells unless they control a spellcaster, and then you're just going round. And again, like I said, with Eternal Soul, you can literally navigation in your opponent's turn, tribute the 2 to special summon this guy out, special summon from the grave of Eternal Soul, and then just you've still got your normal summon to go through. So he's definitely someone that I'm considering putting into the deck. So that's it for all the monsters at the moment. Now on to the spells. Again, 3 Dark Magical Circle. Now, I have had requests on this as well. It's a real shame that this navigation had to be secret for those that want to play Dark Magician as a fan kind of basis. I mean, I think I looked up today, these are going about £20 each. I think navigation is around 15 to 20 as well. Now, I understand why they're so high, because they are great cards and they have to be played in this deck at 3. There is no other way around it, and because of the rarity it's secret, you know, it's going to be that high. Just be quite lucky that we haven't got ultis and ghosts now, because I can guarantee that probably something like this might have been in there. But yeah, you have to play this card at 3. There's no other way around it. 2 Dark Magic Veil. Now again, this card could be I found myself siding 1 out. But again, I did play a game where I used 2 of these and it won me a game. I literally had a Dark Magician and Black Illusion in the graveyard, activated both these, brought those back, and just went in for game. So again, it helped me out quite a bit today. 2 Allure of Darkness. I still don't think this deck is good enough to be put at 3. I mean, the Allure, I really don't like the banish of it. I did try Escape from Dark Dimension, but every time I had Dark Dimension in my hand, I didn't have anything banished. So, I mean, there's a balance between... I mean, by all means, you could up this to 3, you could put 2 Swords of 7 in, and you can make sure you're always banishing stuff. But 2 Allures, definitely for that draw power, is kind of what I wanted. Now, a surprise MVP of the deck that people, again, will go, huh, what? Now, again, this is a shout out to Joe, because he did, he said about putting this card in, and this is also why I've got 3 Chocolate Girls. So, Marsh Change 2. Now, again, there's a couple of my builds where I took this out for the Eye of Timaeus build. Now, the Eye really is mainly for Blue Eyes, because if you get Dark Paladin on board, he's a lot stronger. However, the Marsh Change 2 effect to get out Acid off your Chocolate Girl and get out Dark Claw off of pretty much any other card you want is just too good to pass up. I mean, the amount of times today when I'm going into my setting Marsh Change 2, using it during my opponent's turn, which then activates Black Illusion in the hand, it was second to none. I mean, Dark Claw, yeah, alright, they're not the hardest cards to get rid of, but the second they come on the field, your opponent's taken by surprise already. They're like, what? Huh? What's going on? And then they have to exert more resources to clear Dark Claw off the board. and they've lost resources with acid. So they've had to use their stuff on a card they don't really want to do. And I mean, so there was a game when I opened up all spells and traps and one Chocolate Girl. And obviously Chocolate Girl is useless on its first turn if it doesn't have anything to discard. So Master Change 2 helped me turn that into acid, blow up his scales and back row, and kind of gone from there. A combo of 1 Twin Twister and 1 MST. Now obviously when Eternal Soul comes out, by all means you can use Dark Magic attacks, because that clears back row like that. But obviously the reason I like these is because again they're quick plays. They make Black Illusion in hand active. 1 Illusion Magic. Didn't see this as much as I wanted to today. I don't know if I want to bump it up or not. It just helps get my Dark Magicians into hand. So it's good, and it helps recycle it from the grave so that you can use Ibon again. But I don't think it's perfect for this deck. 1 Regeki for board wipes, because you have to activate board wipes. Oh, and then the other good thing about Illusion Magic, because it's quick play, it again makes Black Illusion, Dark Illusion, sorry, active. Right, 3 Quarter Haunted, because these are Eternal Souls. The second Eternal Soul drops, these are straight out for those. But again, you can activate it during your opponent's turn. You then get him Dark Illusion in hand, active, and then you're going with this. So 3 Navigation, must, absolute must. Again, this won me a duel with its banish effect. So, well, the Navigation kind of wins you a duel. If you have Circle on board, this card is God. I mean, to get 2 Dark Magicians out on board and go with it. And then again, if you've used this, you could end up having 2 Dark Illusions and 1 Dark Magician on board, easy. And you've got 3 cards on hand from nothing. And if you've got a Circle on board, you're banishing one of your opponent's monsters during their turn. So, must have at 3. Again, I would like to apologise for Konami's behalf, but I can't do that. A Secret, it looks amazing, but the price does hurt those that want to play it for fun. 1 Solemn Warning, because you have to play this deck. I did put 1 Solemn Strike in. Now obviously you can bump this up. There is a bit of space for bumping stuff in and swapping stuff around, but Strike was a must today. And then 1 Valley's Emptiness. Again, it was a must. I didn't see it as much as I wanted to. It could have stopped some more plays, but again, it's still really good. Right, okay, so now on to the extra deck. So, 1 Masked Hero Acid and 1 Masked Hero Darklaw. They're just 2 stronger cards that can be played in this deck that you have to be playing them. If you're going to run Master Change 2, these are the 2 cards you're going for. I mean, by all means, yes, you could run 2 Darklaw if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't. I think 1 of each is quite nice because it clears back row and then gives them a bit of fear. 1 Dark Paladin. Now, obviously, I haven't got a way to make this the way I have to my side deck, because the way I see it is this is mainly for Blue Eyes and Dragon decks and heavy spell decks that I want to go against, so I don't mind siding out a Master Change 2 for Eye of Timaeus. So there's those. 2 Ibon Illusion Magician, probably one of the best cards in this extra deck. Now, he's so good. It's a shame that he's only 2,500 and that his effect targets. But you detach, special summon a Dark Magician from hand or deck, and then obviously you can set off Circle. You then declare with that Dark Magician, the Dark Magician Ibon then makes the effect to banish, and then you can go straight through for 5k, so a great card. 1 Ibon High Magician. Now, I really like this guy, and if I put Quaking in, I'll probably play him a bit more, because the fact is that he can sit there. I mean, Quaking's a little bit less, because they would have to get like Blue Eyes to beat over this, but you sit this guy in defence, and the second they attack, they'll be like, oh, he's got no back row whatsoever. He turns your traps and quick play spells into hand traps. So I think he's great for that. And I think if I put Quakings in, you can either bump him up, or it just depends on how you want to play the deck. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, because it's Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. He is a great card to have in any rank 7 deck, sorry. And he's a must-have. Like, there's no question about it. 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosack, again, great card. It doesn't get used as much as you want to, but it's another one that can stall stuff out. And then we got 1 Abyss Dweller, so these are just the generic rank 4s. Castell, Gargar Cowboy, Perform Ace Trapeze Magician. Sorry, Big Eye, must play this card. I stole someone's Odd Eyes Dragon today, and that helped out. And then this is the card that I'm using for my 2 chocolate girls. So number 37, Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. So whenever when any player monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 material from this card. All monsters your opponent controls currently loses 1,000 attack. So he's helped to beat over those bigger boards that Dark Magicians seem to struggle with. And then obviously when he's destroyed, you can target special summon. Sorry, when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use 1 of these per turn. So it just helps you make your Chocolate Girl, detach, helps you get over the bigger beat sticks, and then when he goes, you bring Chocolate Girl back, and hopefully by that time you've got a graveyard for her to use. And then the 1 Omega. So again, he's a great level 8. Now he works well with Effect Veilers and then any of your Dark Magicians. And the idea behind this guy, I was going to go for Skylight Red Dragon Archfiend just to beat over stuff and blow stuff up. But obviously Omega will help you banish if you've help you bring back your banished stuff. If you've banished for Llds and stuff like that, you can bring them back. And if your opponent's banished, same thing. And then obviously Omega can obviously not during the battle phase, but you can banish this guy from the field and then banish 1 card from your opponent's hand. So if your opponent's relying on top deck, you can stop him. If your opponent's relying on if your opponent goes with Chaos Max or Searches, you can take the gamble to banish this and hopefully get rid of something they're going to need to make it. So that's it for the extra deck. Now I'll crack on to the side deck. So again, this is not set in stone, and this is only because of the way my locals was today. So 1 Magic Drain. I took 1 out for Sacred Village of the Spellcasters. So 2 Spider Kaiju. Now this is obviously for the bigger boards that you can't get past. Cosmos, Chaos Maxes, so on and so forth. 2 Eye of Timaeus. I mean, if you're playing Blue Eyes, you can obviously take these out for the Master Change 2s if you want, or another alternative. 2 Secret Village of Spellcasters. I'm not 100% set on this card yet. I don't know the best way of playing it and to get the best and everything out of it. So yeah, I've left that at 2. 2 Dirge. Now I see this, it might be quite helpful against Blue Eyes, dropping their levels down to 7s for Synchros, and obviously XYZs, they might struggle a little bit. So definitely 2 of those was kind of a nice little thing to try out. 2 DD Crow, again against Blue Eyes, DDs. 2 Quaking Mirror Force, again, like I said, I love this card so much, I really do, because I think it's probably the best Mirror Force out there. Because you don't want to be returning all cards to the hand with Storming, you don't want to be sending them all back, destroying them all with normal Mirror Force, whereas Quaking is quite nice. I mean, if they Pendulum Summon a full board, that's it, they're gamed unless they contribute stuff off. So yeah, I think Quaking Mirror Force is a really nice card, and like I said, if you mix it with the Ebon High, you can use it from hand, which I think is great because it turns it into a hand trap. And then just for a bit of fun, is 2 Barrier Statue of the Abyss. Now obviously this card, no monster can be special summoned except for dark monsters. Now it really it throws people off. Some people don't like grasp it straight away, but I think the way that some Blue Eyes decks are being played now, they don't really have huge attack monsters in their deck. I mean, Maidens, Stones, Sages, all of that have like 0 attack. So the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head right now is Manjus, if they're playing the Chaos Max variant. And obviously if they're playing the Chaos Max variant, then yes, they can get Chaos Max out. However, it stops the alternate, it stops the Blue Eyes, it stops them getting into their XYZs. And I mean, if you can get this guy on board, this is like the perfect lockout. But if you would have to get this guy on board, you would have to get Sorcerer of Dark Magic on board, and then have the field spell of Spellcasters, and that's kind of like lockdown stage 1. If you then get Paladin on board, sorry, that's it, that's game. Like, you discard to stop them using their spells, to negate spells. They can't activate spells if they haven't got Spellcaster. They can't special summon anything apart from Dark, and you can negate their traps. It's like, that's a full-on lockout. No one knows what the future's going to bring exactly for the Dark Magician deck, but hopefully it's definitely bringing improvements. I mean, Eternal Soul and the new Apprentice Magician, again, will take it to that next level. If Apprentice Magician was a 6, then 7, sorry, then yeah, it's amazing because then you just go rank 7 spam. But yeah, there is the fine line with the way Dark Magicians are. You can go trap heavy, you can go spell heavy, you can go for a rank 7 play, you can go for rank 4 and 7 play. Then obviously you have the rank 6 play. And obviously the biggest shame for Dark Magicians is the best rank 6 out there that can be used and abused in Dark Magicians will be Yugioh. Which is it's a real shame that we might not get it ever in the TCG. So Konami, if you are watching and listening, please just let that artwork be printed. If the issue is over the artwork, just let it be done. It's not that bad. I mean, there's definitely worse cards around. But that's just me being biased because I'm a Dark Magician fan and the effects on this card is amazing. Basically, one of its cards, I think, is Banish, and it's a Change of Heart, and you banish, and it's a Monster Reborn. So it has 2 amazing effects, and it's just the best card to go in this deck. But, like I said, unless we're all just going to go to OCG and start playing there, I don't think we'll be getting it. But yeah, that's my Dark Magician deck profile. Again, I'm going to keep working on it. Now, those of you that have asked for a budget DDD deck build and other chain burn deck builds, we are getting to them. We are really trying hard to work on them. The biggest issue with DDDs at the moment is, if you haven't noticed, that Ragnarok is starting to rocket in price. So it's a real shame, because if you want that in the deck, it won't be considered £30 or less budget. But we are going to try and make it work with it. We are working on one where I'm going to value the Ragnaroks at £3 each, because that is what they realistically should be. They're just starting to skyrocket a little bit and climb a little bit because they weren't reprinted. So yeah, thanks for watching. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I just want to keep pushing for that. I do have a great schedule coming up for you guys this week with another giveaway. For those of you that did win the giveaway, I'm still waiting on 4 of you to get hold of me. I have messaged you guys, so please get back to me and I'll be able to send the stuff off to you. 2 have already been sent on their way, so they should be with you guys very, very shortly. So other than that, let us know if there's anything in the comments below that you want to see. I will be uploading some of the Llds duels from over the weekend. We do have a very, very early opening for you guys coming up on Tuesday, so stick around for that. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for all your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on Twitter to keep up to date with all of our shenanigans, and as always, happy dueling.